Welcome to week 3. We got the New York Giants heading west to play the San Francisco 49ers in one of those random week 3 home openers. We got a couple of those this week, like Miami's a week 3 home opener. And tonight we got the San Francisco 49ers, or tomorrow night rather, depending on when you're watching this. Now, last week, San Francisco, they didn't make a lot of people well, I don't know if people are angry at San Francisco or actually, no, they're more angry at the Rams. We're okay. We got by through the skin of our teeth because when we gave out that bet on this channel on my video, I took the Niners at -7. So we weren't one of these litany of people who got screwed, who took the Niners -8.5, -8, -7. No, we had them at -7, so we pushed, which was good for us because we cleaned up on those player props. I told you about one of my long-time running DFS theories, week 1 duds equal week 2 studs. We went over on Davis. We went over on Deebo. We went over on Higgins. We went over on Mike Williams. All of them hit, and that was great. Monday night, we had the Steelers winning outright. The Jamal Williams, I know you complainers got your bets refunded. I know DraftKings said that all Jamal Williams bets were going to be refunded. And then we pushed. I was hoping to get Carolina at +3.5. We would have had a backdoor cover, but they still pushed +3. Najee Harris reception yards did not work out because he happens to be slower than most of you out there. Yeah, that's slow. But tonight, we got the Niners playing host on a short week to the Saquon Barkley-less New York Giants. Obviously, a massive spread on this game. The Giants are going to be missing 2 offensive linemen. No Saquon Barkley. In your head, you just go, oh, this is just going to be a beating. It's the weird thing about the NFL, man. This is a wild league. You know, you had the Giants, I think they hadn't scored a single point at halftime, getting crushed by the Cardinals. 0 points through 6 quarters. And then they come back to win this game. We've seen all sorts of ruckus. I mean, just look at these Rams. They were supposed to be one of the worst teams in the league, and they gave the Niners all they could handle last Sunday after beating Seattle on the road week 1. So anything's possible in this world. However, it's hard for me to foresee. How are they legitimately going to do it? How are they going to accumulate the points? Unless there's like fluky special teams touchdowns, Daniel Jones. I mean, this is a combination of a guy and a system I like on one side in the Niners versus the polar opposite of that. And I hate the way the Giants run their team. I hate their quarterback. I hate the fact that they paid him. They have a bad offensive line that got absolutely destroyed by Dallas. And this is supposed to be very different on a short week without Barkley. I don't know. It seems like an easy bet, but not as easy as the BetMGM bet, where if you're a new user on BetMGM, you bet $10, they'll give you $200 to use. Bet 10, get 200, BetMGM. Make sure you take advantage of that. These are great early season promotions that you should absolutely take advantage of. Don't be scared. Oh, but I use on this site before. I'm one of those guys. I'm across the board on all of them. If you're a new startup sportsbook, you're offering me a deal, I'm taking it. So take advantage. Deposit 10, get 200 over at BetMGM. Now, as far as this game goes, yeah, do I think the Niners are going to win? Obviously. In previous years, how many Jeff Wilson bets did we win last year? How many Deebo Samuel bets have we won? There was an old saying, remember this one last year? I know Shanahan. I know how Shanahan runs that squad. And there are a couple different things I'm going to be looking at. Number 1, an extension of that week 1 duds equal week 2 studs. Well, week 1 and 2 mediocrity and a potentially hurt Brandon Ayuk means I'm ready for some George Kittle on Thursday Night Football. I'm going to take the over on George Kittle receiving yards. He's primed to have a good game in this one. I could see him doing some damage. He's had yardage in the previous 2 games. He has some catches early and then seems to get stuck. But for me, the deciding factor is even if Brandon Ayuk suits up, it's questionable at this point. Anytime you're getting a limited receiver like that, that opens up even that much more of an opportunity. If you think about it, I mean, they use Deebo behind the line of scrimmage a lot. Kittle's going to be one of their main 2 threats down the field down the field or short to intermediate. Brock Purdy doesn't really throw it too deep all that often. I mean, we saw those 2 shanked passes, one to Deebo and one to Ayuk. Even though I am a Purdy guy, thinks he's perfect for this offense. Purdy's perfect for this offense. So I do like George Kittle to go over on his receiving total. It's very hard for me not to take Deebo Samuel once again. He has so many touches from behind the line of scrimmage, and we know how good he is in yards after the catch. I have no problem because his total is still relatively low. The only weird thing that you have to be worried about, they changed 2 of his receptions to runs just because on the designed play, that 1 or 2 inches that separates it from being a backwards pass to a forwards pass, sometimes it changes them to run. So maybe you want to look into the rushing plus receiving, but that's like 75. Still feel pretty comfortable about the receiving. I mean, if you think that Purdy's going to throw 225 yards in this game, how's he going to get there? How's he going to get there if Ayuk is limited? And the answer is Kittle, Deebo, and potentially Christian McCaffrey. But because there may be some limited work in this game because they have been riding him to the ground, you got to look at his snap share percentage through the first 2 weeks. Elijah Mitchell was a full afterthought in week 2, and on a short week, the one thing I will take Christian McCaffrey for, and stemming back from the Ayuk potential limited playing time and potential inactive status, I'm going to take over on longest reception. He gets a couple of shots every game to take a little dump off, and we know how good he is in the open field. I mean, just look at him run against the Giants. Look what guys like Pollard, I mean, even look what James Conner did to them last week. You can gash these Giants, which is going to take me to my next bet. So that bet is over longest reception on Christian McCaffrey. Then the next one is going to be one of our old guys. This guy, he can screw you because he's got the rustiest knees, even though they are very young. But Elijah Mitchell, over 28.5 rushing yards. Shanahan even stated, I know we got to lighten the workload on McCaffrey. I think he just gets so excited because every play can be a game-changing play from McCaffrey, but he's used him so much, and on a short week, and we know how important he is to the offense, they're going to have to give carries to Elijah Mitchell, and what has that Giants run defense stopped so far this year? So I will take the over on Elijah Mitchell rushing yards. And then one last thing, if I need something from the Giants, because what a nightmare they are. I know naturally you would think, oh yeah, but like, look, Waller started to play well last week. He's their main receiving option. There's going to be no Saquon Barkley, a lot of quick throws. Yeah, potentially, but A, I don't trust Daniel Jones doing anything. And B, what have the Niners conceded to tight ends so far? Not much at all, so I'm going to stay away from that. But I will take longest rush on Daniel Jones. This guy can't help himself. So many, I mean, aside from the designed runs, which they have a lot of, without Barkley, I imagine he's going to be looking up. I'm scared of pressure. I'm running. All it takes is one. Even if they're down 3 touchdowns in the second half, I'm going to take the over on longest rush for Daniel Jones. And then if you want to take like a magic parlay, I know you guys are maniacs. Something that I will do, like some of those receivers, when I think a receiver has been kind of left out of the offense a little, I took alternate receiving on Gabe Davis, and I went 60 plus, 70 plus, same type of thing with those other guys. So for Kittle, why don't you take the alternate receiving 60 plus? We will combine that with the Elijah Mitchell 50 plus rushing yards and a Niners win by 2.5, and that's called the juiced up same gamer. Yeah, picture it at the top of one of those sportsbook apps that you open. Yeah, the Francis special. No, but you won't see that because anything they show you on your screen is to screw you, and I'm trying to help you with some snake bunker sniff bets. Yeah, these are all fake sayings. But that is what I have for you here on Thursday Night Football. You know, I tend to do pretty well with the Shanahan bets. We'll see how this one goes. Good luck to all of you. Obviously, better luck to me. Make sure you're subscribed to the Odd Shopper channel here. On Friday, we got another episode of Francis and Friends. These collaborations I'm doing with the Odd Shopper guys are breeding some winners. They talked me off the Chargers, but we agreed on the Mike Williams over. Talked me off the Patriots, but we agreed on the Waddle over. I think we're finding some good bets in there, obviously with a couple of laughs. So check that out on Friday afternoons. Follow me on social media. It's at Andy Francis on all platforms. Just did a comedy podcast that I put out on my YouTube, so go follow me on YouTube. How about this? Just selling myself up and down the river. All right, guys, I will check in with you before Sunday. Good luck.